Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is part two of the collective ancestral guidance. This is the reading to the storytelling that I did this week. My apologies for the delay, but you know, I so whenever the moment is right, it comes on out. I've been sitting with these cards for a couple of days, and the message has definitely been building. And as I've experienced different things, I truly have understood the delay and why to take about six different takes to get this message out. I am hoping that this is the magic take because we just never know what is going to happen when you are recording things, right? But I've become very accustomed to starting over. So I take it as a sign from spirit and trust that the right message and the right recording goes through and to the right people. All right, so here we go. So we and 222, it's 221 right now. I've been seeing 222 a lot. So like I said, divine order and divine timing. So the foundation of this layout, again, we're talking about ancestral guidance and connecting with our ancestors for that guidance. And what I wanted to also um, talk about is not just the ancestor so much, but also that this ancestral guidance can come through the animals, because that's definitely happening, right? I talked about them coming through the dreams in part one, and just in, different maybe blockages or um, synchronicities that you might be noticing around you now, forward or keeping you still. Um, but also, like I said, the animals, pay attention to the animal spirits that are showing up, as well as the spirit guides. They can come in as crystals, you know. Uh, Take a notice of what's showing up around you. Our ancestors come in different forms and functions. So pay attention to the synchronicities around you, what's showing up a lot, you know? So this layout, again, I was guided to do this layout using the model from my solar biology book. And if you haven't seen part one, then this is where this is all coming from. This is the chart of the 16 personalities found within each member of humanity. So I was thinking about all of this as I was putting this together. So I tried to use this layout as the guide. And even though and if you, like I said, if you didn't see part one, well, it's you on top, your parents, which would be your grandparents, and then those parents of your grandparents. And that makes your 16. All right, the 16 personalities. And I've been counting and recounting and recounting the cards as well as this. And we have to remember that you is singular and plural. Now we know why. All right. So a lot of riddles getting solved in this season of life. All right, a lot of riddles getting solved because we're expanding. We are expanding. All right, so I'm going to start with, and I'm doing something a little different today. So I hope it records properly, and I hope my hands aren't moving too much. But this message is all about the cards, so I wanted it to be just that. All right, so let's start with the Father of Air. This was the first card that came out. So I'm going to start with this row here, right? So this is the Father of Air, the Mother of Fire, the Root of Fire, and the Monarch. So what are the ancestral messages coming through these cards? Well, first, let's start with the Father of Air, and I have notes, so I'm going to be reading from the notes I took from the book, as well as whatever information and guidance flows through me as I'm doing this recording. So leadership with confidence, that's where we start. And this is coming through is a Hopi tradition. I just posted on Facebook as well as on my status, I think yesterday, that Hopi teaching. So it's interesting that and I did this poll, I think last weekend or Monday or Tuesday. So it's interesting that all of the information has come out since well, I'm observing all of the information that's come out or come to me since doing the spread, and it's very synchronistic and collective, right? So Father of Air, Hopi, what is the message coming in from our ancient grandfathers and great grandfathers, right? The father of air. And when we think of air, we're also thinking of our speech, we're thinking of our thoughts, our words, we're thinking of all of those things, right? So the father of air is reminding us to lead with confidence, to get expert help, and to make key decisions, as well as to get the expert help when we are ready to make those key decisions. And for me, it's saying, again, you don't have to do this all alone. You can go to those that have more expert and wisdom than you and make your decision with that expert and with that wisdom. And this is the whole point of, I think, the overall message right now, which is to connect to the ancestor, right? For that wisdom, for that guidance, and just that habit of connecting to the older person, connected to the wiser ones in order to help and guide us and help us to make some key decisions, right? The father of air is also talking about being wise and empathetic in your leadership. So not just having uh, knowing what to do, but also having an emotional and mental balance, right? Mind and emotional balance. So you're thinking with wisdom as well as you're thinking with compassion and heart, right? It's also reminding us to watch our words, right? Make sure that our humor isn't hurting anybody, and also um, to make sure as we lead, we are doing so with confidence first and foremost, and with balance, right? So that's very important, and it's coming in from the masculine, right? The father of air. So that masculine energy, I think, too, again, is guiding us, and that transformation going within us as women as well as within men, that masculine energy. How do we transform that masculine now? Because that's a big subject. The masculine energy and what's happening to the man, right? As well as that masculine energy within the woman. Okay, and the feminine energy within the masculine is also transforming that masculine, that male being, right? So again, looking at this masculine energy within ourselves and seeing how do we transform that. Yes, we still want to be leaders, but we're leading more with compassion. We're leading more with wisdom and empathy. And truly, that is the direction we're going into, which is the mother, right? So now we have the mother of fire. And the mother of fire is saying to us, rise and shine, daughters and sons, rise and shine. And the mother of fire represents the first woman. So the first woman could be, different traditions have different stories. That first woman, again, we're going back to the most ancient, wise woman within your ancestry. And she's coming in and she's saying to you, rise and shine. She's reminding us to own it all. Own it all. I apologize for the shaking because I am holding my camera as I'm doing this. I don't know, I just needed to do it this way this time. I have some props that I might use to help keep the camera still. But then the view might be a little different, and I didn't want to really obstruct the view. Let's see. Well, yeah, maybe we could do that. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying some different things today, and we'll just have to see how it comes out. All right, there we go. Right, so we have the mother of fire here, right? So the mother of fire is saying, rise and shine. And in that rise and shine, it's owning all of our experiences. When I was doing these videos, I was definitely feeling like, again, the whole energy of ownership this year for 2024, and that energy of 8. Again, that energy of 8 is the umbrella or the big soup that we're in, interweaving our individuality into this energy of 8, right? And it's saying own it all your power. And the ownership list I had, owning our experiences, owning our past, owning our future, owning our intelligence, owning the things we like, owning the things we don't like, right? Owning the present moment, right? So we're really owning all of the things we've been going through and the things that we have gone through in the past. It also says the good, the bad, and the potential ugly, because we never really know what's coming. And what's coming could be ugly, but we can own that. We know that we can get through it. We can alchemize, we can integrate, we are protected, which is a big, big, big theme. We are protectors as well as we are protected. So we can walk through these valleys of change, knowing that we can shine and we can rise during it all, right? It reminds us, our mother is reminding us to stand out as well as to preserve. And again, that is such a motherly spirit, right? You want your babies to stand out, but you also want to preserve your legacy and your lineage, right? So it's not just about procreating, but it's also about preserving. What are we preserving? What is sustainable? What do we want to gather and pass on to others, So a lot of wisdom coming in from the mother of fire, and fire in a lot of traditions is considered to be the first god, right? Because the fire is able to destroy as well as fire is able to create. So it just has that power to do so many things. And let's move on. I mean, that fire energy is coming in a lot, right? Because again, we're in the season of Gemini and Sagittarius, right? So we have the air of the Gemini and we have the fire of Sagittarius, right? Or Sekhmet, right? And the root fire. So and that Sekhmet Sagittarius energy is the guide getting us through all of this air, all of the wind, right? All of the thoughts and the inspiration that we're experiencing during this season, right? So now we get to the root of fire, right? And that root of fire is saying to us, risk it all, right? So we have these strong feminine energies coming in saying, you know what? Own it all and then risk it all. It's also saying, hey, you're worth it. You're worth it all. You're worth the risk. You are so worth the risk. And it's not really a risk, but it's literally just taking those chances, right? And she's saying, be curious. And listen, the raccoon has been coming to me. Well, I think it was at the beginning of this month. It was just like, what is the raccoon? And it was all about curiosity. And then I was reading something the other day, and they said the Sagittarius spirit is all about curiosity. So here is this reminder again to be curious and to go beyond our usual limits. Go somewhere you've never been before, enter into new territory, or do something that you usually do, but do it in a brand new way. It could be a thought. It could just be how you approach something, or it could be really stepping out and stepping in to something brand new. It is saying to embrace your personal freedom and to follow your passions, moving ahead to explore our passions with enthusiasm. And that is so important, doing what we do with excitement, doing what we are passionate about, and moving forward again with our passions and feeling enthusiastic about doing the things that are close to our heart and that we care about. Again, this emotional balance, right? Lead with compassion. Lead with the things that you are compassionate about, the things that you care about. Become a leader in those areas, because that will actually make you, you're concerned about it, you're emotionally connected to it, as well as you actually invested into how is this going to improve. I mean, really, if you don't care about something, Do we want it to grow and grow and continue and continue? You know what I mean? So the more we actually care about what we attach ourselves to, we can work with it in more of a mentally and emotionally balanced way, right? We don't want to be leaders of things that we actually don't care to preserve or sustain, you know, because then it becomes very dangerous. And I think we are seeing that on in many ways now, the manifestation of leaders that are not really compassionate and leaders that are separated from those whom they were probably elected to lead. You know what I mean? So the root of fire is reminding us to risk it all, but to go beyond our limits, right? And it comes in again too with this African dream root. That is the spirit of this card, the African dream root. So we're getting again some of this plant wisdom through the ancestors, or ancestral wisdom through the plant kingdom. That's better said. And it's saying, you know, it's reminding us of liberation, and that the Maroons in Jamaica, they use the African dream root to liberate themselves, as well as in South Africa, the African dream root was used for lucid dreaming. And when I was thinking about this, when I was reading this for the first time, what came to me was, again, you know, this is ancestral, collective ancestral guidance. A lot of feminine energy is on the board here, right? So we can see, and the next card is the monarch, right? So we can see how this feminine energy is coming in, and the ancestors are guiding us back to the feminine ways, the mother of fire, the medicinal ways, the root of fire, and the African dream root. And again, we move on to the monarch. And what I'm feeling too is that what is the African dream? What is the dream of the African diaspora, which is spread throughout the whole world? You know, if I say the American dream, everybody's familiar with the American dream. And what's starting to seed within me is, what is the dream of the African? And what is the dream of those that are part of the African diaspora? And us planting those seeds and allowing those trees to grow. Moving on to the monarch, which is victorious, and it's number 7. Okay. And the monarch has a very, very special message from our ancestors. And I think this is this card wraps it all up. Okay. And it says, you are loved, you are protected, you are supported, you are on the way to your vision, that your mission and your vision are meeting, that your drive and your vision are meeting, and that the hard work that you have been doing is paying off. So that is a very potent and profound message to come through for all of us from our ancestors, to let us know, hey, I see you, I love you, I'm here, I'm protecting you, I'm supporting you, and I see your plan, and you're on the right path. It reminds us to go with confidence and determination, and to keep up with our plans. So if you were thinking of quitting, your ancestors came in to say, keep on going. All right, keep on going. Something I wanted to tie into this reading too, as I was looking at the numbers, I'm starting to see it could be an unfolding. The whole numerology is taking on its own language to me as I work with these cards, and something that I wanted to bring into everybody's attention. Okay, so if we look at this, we have 3 and 6, which is 9, right? And that's the completion, right? And we know that 9 is complete to begin again, right? So we're also at this point where we're wrapping up. And again, 9 is very strong energy with ancestry, right? The 9 ether, right? So that information coming in through our hereditary, right? So that 9 energy again. Then I'm looking at it too from the perspective of just this evolutionary and awakening process that we're really going through from 2020 to 2030, and some people even say it started in 2012. or 2013. So we're really again in this column, in this wave, these waves of change, and it's a process, and it's going over a number of years. So if we just look at this as the ancestral information, or the turn, the 9 going in, as well as, this is an 8 year, and 2025 is a 9 year, right? So we have this 9 energy coming in here, and we have the 2 plus 5, which is 7, right? So 2025, again, 2025 is going to be a 9 year. We're in an 8 year now. So we have this mother father energy coming in, guiding us again to the 2025 cycle, saying the father of air, of leadership, and the mother of fire, and that transformation that is necessary within us, right? And then we go to be, this can be 2023, looking back. 2023 could be the root of it. So looking at what kind of rooted for you last year, and we're taking that, we're weaving more and more of that into our essence, right? And here we go with the number 7. 2023 was a 7 year. So again, this energy of what did you ground in last year? What was rooted into you last year? And again, the monarchy, again, I'm feeling again the royalty of yourself, right? And the matriarch, right? The royal matriarch, your divine feminine energy coming through. And I think a lot of us were going through that journey for a number of years. We're really taking with us forward what we experienced last year, and we're moving forward, and we're growing with that, and we're weaving that more and more and more into existence. Okay, so the years are also, and the numbers are also showing me, are also telling me a story as well. All right, so now we're gonna go into, oh, and then there were 4 affirmations that I took from each of these cards that I wanted to share. This one is, I am a leader, not a follower. The second one is, my confidence is magnetic. The third one is, I am passionate about my next steps. And the fourth one is, I share royalty in my DNA. I said share, but it says I have, but really we're sharing the royalty, right? So I have royalty within my DNA, right? So you can write those down, and you can walk with those mantras forever. All right. So, or definitely within this Gemini Sagittarius season that we're in. So let's go to the second row. And the second row, so these were like reminders of who you are, who you're becoming, how to lead with balance and courage and loyalty and roots, right? With foundation. And this row kind of showed us the little symbols, and the how, like, this is you, and this is, we want to remind you who you are and what you are made up of. And these are ways that you can connect and clear your space to connect with us, right? And this row, I actually was guided to read directly from the book. So let me just pause this for a second and get those books out. I forgot about that. Well, actually, you know what? Let me keep on going. And then I'll read these lastly from the book. Yeah, we'll do it that way this time. You just never know when you're gonna have to switch it up. So what else did I, but let's talk about them. These are some symbols. The drum, right? Which is Mother Earth. Strength, sweet grass, sacred medicine. Number 3, bravery, the bear. And sage, sacred medicine for cleansing, right? And a lot of these, again, came through in different ways over the last couple of days for me too, especially the drum. There's a drumming session tonight that I might go to. And we know the drum is good for your nervous system, right? So if whenever you want to feel calm and nurtured and just literally reset your body into relaxation and strength, it's the drum. right? And today we were talking about what the drum is made out of and the different hides and woods in the drum, and how when we're using the drum, how we're actually also connecting to those animal spirits and plant spirits from within the wood, right? So that's a very interesting aspect of the drum too, and those tones and those frequencies that are actually coming out of the drums, right? So then we have the sweetgrass, and the sweetgrass, it's a sacred preparation. So it's again that cultivation, that preservation that makes the sweetgrass one of the elements that makes the sacredness of the sweetgrass is actually the preservation and the cultivation of the grass, and then also what it's used for bear, the bravery of the bear, and again, mentioning how the mother bear always protects its cubs, right? Um, and using that ferociousness. Again, we can't go through this season without this energy of that Sagittarian segment fire coming through when there is a season. There are times when you have to be brave and use courage and be ferocious. It's not always going to be, those walks in the park. And again, the sage coming in to remind us to cleanse, to remove the negativity out, to allow more light to come in. All right, so I actually am feeling, let's just go ahead and get these messages out now. So let me get the book. Which I not see. So let's go ahead. All right, so let me pause it and look, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and now I can sit. Let me make sure. The last one I recorded, it didn't have any volume. And I didn't find that out until the very end. All right, so let's look at it. And then also I'm going to tie in these numbers again, because here it is again, number 20. So we could look at that as 2020. And remember in 2020, there was a lot of discussion about Mother Earth being unhappy and us having to come into balance with Mother Earth. And the drum is always like a drum call or calling out. So as I saw this, I was thinking, yeah, 2020 was that drum call for us to get our attention in different ways, right? And now we're in 2024, and if you think of it as a graduation again, this 4-year theme of 20 to 2020 to 2024. And what happens when we go to school? We graduate in 4 years or college, and we have it's May, June is graduation season. So I do think that this, where we are now, really is a graduation season from the journey that we have been on individually as well as collectively since the drum call of 2020, alerting us that we needed to come into more balance in various ways, right? So the message here is, and for these four, I'm reading it directly from the book. And the message here is, yeah, okay, I'm just wondering if I should leave it like this or should do something a little different. But let's just see. Let's be curious and see how this whole thing pans out. And I want to just put it here so when I go into the next one, I don't have to move it so much. All right, let's see what happens. All right, Mother Earth is mother to all living things. And in the same way, our own mother gives us life. Mother Earth gives life to all creation. She teaches us the importance of protecting the land and especially water, the lifeblood that sustains our world. The soil on which we walk today is the same land that existed for the countless generations that came before us. The spirits of our ancestors walk behind us.
And it is vital to remember that we are the result of the many who came before us. Within the Mi'kmaq language, the words people, earth, mother, and drum are all derived from the same root expression, which relates to the interconnected relationship between Mother Earth and all of creation. When we speak about the drum, we are speaking about the heartbeat of Mother Earth. When we hear the drum beat, we are hearing her heartbeat. Thump, 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 thump. Her heartbeat has been embedded within our own chest, so we will not forget. And it is through the action of drumming that we acknowledge we are her children. The drum is connection that always allows us to let her know that we hear her and that we see her. If you have drawn the Mother Earth card today, it is a reminder to reconnect to our worlds by removing garbage from waterways, organizing cleanups, or through being mindful of your environmental impact. There is a nudge from spirit to reconnect to the earth's vibration through grounding exercises or by drumming. By reconnecting to the drum, stepping outside, and actively cleaning our environment, we can help to shift the world. Beautiful, beautiful message. And I want to say also too, I don't know, this is personal, but I just want to bring it in because as I'm reading it, it's all coming in. Um, this the inner child. For some reason, the inner child is screaming to me right now, right? So in drumming up the mother, also drumming up that inner child, allowing that child to come out and inspire you to clean up the world. The freedom that I think children have is, that they see it, they see what's needed. So I want to say to tap into that inner child spirit too, and again remembering those things as like Mother Earth, saying remembering that you are Mother Earth's child. So as Mother Earth's child, as a child, what do you want to do knowing that Mother Earth is now your mother? You know what I mean? Going back into that, knowing that I am protected by Mother Earth, the energy of the mother, you know what I mean? The earthly mother, and that freedom, and that connectivity, not so much the freedom, but the connectivity, and again, this energy of protection. So what is it that your inner child is guiding you to do now that you're reconnected to your ancient mother and knowing that you are protected and you can do that heart's desire? You can lead with your heart. You can lead with compassion. You can lead with your heart and your mental imbalance. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to bring that in. And it's really because this bear message is here. And I had one of my first toys was a bear, and it was a heart, and it went thump thump boom 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 boom. So as I was reading it, I just was thinking of my heart to heart bear that had the heartbeat of Mother Earth in it, and that's what it was. And I would go to sleep to that every night as a child. So that was interesting. All right, let's go to the next one, and it's 2028, right? And again, remember there's this 248 code. So a lot of twos, a lot of 28, the 248, this whole thing is 25, 23, that two energy. 26 is, you're going to see 26 soon with the sage, which is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8, so that 248 and code is definitely here again. All right, so let's look at number 28. 2 8s and that 8 energy, it comes through in so many different ways. All right. So sweetgrass, sacred medicine, is strength. Sweetgrass is the 4th sacred medicine. Well, there's the 4, 2, 4, 8. It is placed in the north direction and is directly related to Mother. As such, it is referred to as mother's hair. And again, remember the hereditary, our ancestry, the 9. It serves as a way of connecting to her and can be used in healing circles because it has a calming effect. And while smudging, it promotes peace, kindness, and purification. Sweetgrass has a pleasant and sweet aroma and can be used to call in the ancestors or those in the spirit world. Special significance is paid to sweetgrass because it's the only sacred medicine where ceremony is so heavily involved in its collection and through the process of braiding. Prayers are spoken while the blades of grass are picked, then again during the interweaving of each braid. Since the level of care and attention involved in the harvesting process of sweetgrass is so significant, it helps shed light on its traditional teachings. Although individual strands are easily broken, there is incredible strength when they are braided together. As the individual strands are intertwined, they become impossible to break. The importance of braiding symbolizes strength of family and of community and reinforces the lessons that the support of others can fortify our own internal strength. If you have drawn the Sweetgrass Sacred Medicine card today, it is a reminder to savor the sweetness in your life. Oftentimes, the most cherished moments we experience are fleeting and may even be fragile, but it is important nonetheless to appreciate those moments. There may also be a call to connect more closely with others, either to our ancestors or community or family members. We are never alone in this life, and there is strength in numbers, both through our ancestors in spirit and those closest to us in the physical world. Oh, that says so much, doesn't it? It says so, so, so much. I mean, it's the overall message, right? Connect with your ancestors and you'll be protected. You'll be stronger. You'll get that wisdom. It speaks about the individuality, but the individuality also needing to come together and form community to be stronger, right? And that again, the braid, right? And that is really what I think the overall message is of why I wanted to bring this message out is again in this season, in this Gemini Sagittarius season, braid yourself with your ancestors, walk with your ancestors for that strength. And again, it's the you up top, the single as well as the plural. You're individual, but the you, in my family, we had this joke. We always used to say the royal we, right? And as I learn more and more about myself, I realize that the royal we exists, truly, truly exists within each of us, right? Within that top, because we are made out of 16, right? So braid yourself with your ancestors. And again, I'm reminded to remember the spirit guide, the other half of your astrology. That's something I've really learned in 2023, right? In terms of looking at my astrology and bringing that together, my Leo with my spiritual guide, which is the Aquarius nature, right? So interweaving, and interestingly enough, the spider did come in the house this week. It was a big black spider weaving things together. That's what the spider reminds us to, the dream weaver and weaving things together. It's the same essence of this braid, being able to integrate and weave things together to create a new thing that is stronger, right? The ties that bind us, right? All right, let's go into the bear. The bear and the sacred sage. And again, we said, this 248 code is here. This was 2, number 28 is the fourth sacred medicine. Well, 226 is the second sacred medicine. So, and look at it from 2028. So from a 2020 to 2028, it can be a very strengthening journey, an 8-year journey of strengthening, but you're integrating yourself with your ancestors in a very new way. You're walking with your ancestors. You're walking with your spiritual guides and your spiritual knowledge, right? So you're braided, right? Your twin. In part one, I was saying let your ancestral team be your twin, and that ancestral team can include your spirit guides, I'm Akita, Akari, Aurora, squared, right? For a reason, because I know I'm not walking alone, right? And that squared is so many different things, right? Um, Now let's go into bravery and sage sacred medicine, and I will use my little tool here again. I tell you, recording puts you into a whole new reality of video production, all type of things. Right? It's a very creative and curious process to step into. You have to allow your curiosities to lead you and your creativity to lead you. All right, let's learn about bravery number 3. In the Anishinaabe language, bravery means the state of having a fearless heart, which means that we must be brave to do what is right, regardless of the consequences. It is often easier to remain silent when we see something is unjust, as it can be difficult to speak up for fear of retaliation. Bravery is the gift that bear provides to us. Although these animals are gentle by nature, the ferociousness of a mother bear when one of her cubs is approached epitomizes the teaching of bravery. Bear is a courageous and teaches us to have the mental and moral strength to overcome the fears that prevent us from fully engaging with this specific sacred grandfather teaching. It's so interesting because remember, the father there said to lead with mind and emotional balance, right? The Hopi teacher. And here we have the bear coming in again, and it's a sacred grandfather teaching. And it says 2 different decks. It says to lead with moral integrity, right? Moral, and they said moral and emotional. This first one said mental and emotional. And this one says to lead with moral. I mean, that's the line in there, but I'm sure I read it. I'm sure I read it. Yeah, it is a challenge that must be faced with the same level of strength and intensity as a mother bear protecting her cub. Bear shows us, right, bear is courageous and teaches us to have the mental and moral strength to overcome the fears. So mental, moral, and emotional strength and balance. That's a trinity. Number 3. Let that be your new trinity, right? Remind yourself, where am I balanced in my morals, in my mental, and in my emotional? And I guess the moral will put that mental and emotional together. So if your mental and your emotional are your foundation, then you're rising up to that moral that encompasses both your mental and your emotional in balance. Okay? Okay. Yeah, and listen, there's been a white bird that I have been watching for the past 2 days, and I just want to capture it. And I think I see it in the blue hole now. But anyway, I this white bird has been flying around me for the past 2 days, and I really, yep, it is in the blue hole. But I'm gonna focus. I'll get it later. It's landed. All right, so stage number 26. Number 26. Let's see, so the 26. The 26 is about cleansing And it says, the many generations who walked the grounds of Mother Earth before our incarnation harness the power of sacred medicine of sage. Its antiseptic properties are associated with its ability to energetically cleanse our environment. And it is the second of the four sacred medicines honored by countless indigenous cultures. Its unmistakable healing scent can be found wafting in the winds of the western direction of the medicine wheel, and it is commonly utilized for smudging as it is a potent cleanser for homes, sacred items, and even our physical bodies. The power associated with the use of sage is connected to the relief or lessening of our troubled minds and to the removal of negative energy from our hearts and homes. Again, I just want to tie in here the message of the Father. You know, there's this real strong energy of getting our mental in order, clearing out the negative experiences so that we can lead with moral, some type of moral values and emotional values and mental values being in alignment. And I think that's a huge message here coming in from our ancestors, right? Be in alignment. Let your morals be in alignment with your emotions. Let your emotions be in alignment with your thoughts. Let it all be in alignment and let it be a brave and courageous thing you're doing that is connecting to Mother Earth and showing the strength, right? And the royalty within you, right? That liberates you. All right. Risk it all, rise and shine. All right. So I hope the message is really coming through for each of us too. And I hope it resonates for each of you. And this guidance is really will really serve you. Hold on, where am I going? I still need this. So let's continue in with this message of the sage, right? It says, often you can feel a heaviness lingering in the air if an argument has taken place in your home or if you are going through difficult times. This energy can remain and become connected to your spirit and aura, but the sacred medicine of sage can help to cleanse the space and shift the energy from negative to positive. If you have drawn the Sage Sacred Medicine card today, you may be called upon to cleanse and detoxify some aspect of your life. Some clearing may be needed, and the appearance of this card is confirmation that purification of your thoughts, feelings, relationships, or environment might be required. Utilize a sage smudge and release what no longer serves you in your life. I want to mention here too that we are definitely in a transmutative energy cycle, right? The body, in terms of cleansing and detoxifying our homes and our spaces and purification. Oh, we are definitely there right now. So, people that, been contacted and, just walking through life, having different conversations with people, a lot of transmutation is going on. A lot of flus, a lot of viruses. My bones were hurting me the other night. You know what I mean? So our bodies are aching and pains. It's happening, right? We're still, May is Taurus energy and Taurus and Gemini, and the Taurus is about the body and the Gemini is about the air, the thoughts, right? So again, this combination of cleansing and detoxifying our bodies, right? And what thoughts are we having as that process is happening? I was over the last couple of days, I've been just sharing with people what I do and what I've learned to do when my body's in pain, when I realize that my body is releasing stuck energy and is in pain. And I've had to really come into the habit of being supportive, of loving my body when it alerts me to me being in an imbalanced state. Really recognizing that, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to drink more water? Do I need to eat less sugar? Do I need to have some more fruits? Do I need to have some more salads this week? Do I need to cut certain things out or add certain things in? So really allowing my body to direct me, as well as allowing the pain to alert me to what action steps I need to do or that I'm not doing. To really not want to wish the pain away, but to actually acknowledge the pain as a teacher and a signal and a message, and then to do as required, you know? So as my legs are hurting me and my bones are hurting me when the solar flares happen, I feel them, and I feel them through the leg that has the rod in it. I don't feel it in the unrodded leg, but I could definitely feel that energy moving through that my leg and my bones. And I just have gotten into the habit of literally surrendering to it, putting my hands over my body and helping to flow the energy out and push the energy out, acknowledging that my body is in a state of release, that it is releasing something that I no longer need, that is stuck, that it needs to come on out. Even last night, I was in my stomach, my two nights ago, the last 2 nights, yesterday I ate too much. And I knew it was because I was being greedy. Oh, but then the night before, it really felt like something was passing through my system. And I needed to just really observe and witness that and allow it to literally come out of me and just go along with the plan. You know what I mean? So talk to your body, give your body love, acknowledge that your body is telling you something, is showing you where something is out of balance, and be a supportive team member to your body with your mentality, and allow the release and allow the cleansing. Don't just ask for the pain to go away and for things to go back to normal, because the pain going away means that your body, without correction, just means that whatever your body is trying to show you that needs an adjustment, you don't want to hear it. You just want it to be quiet and carry on ignorantly. Right? So let's not carry on ignorantly when our body speaks to us in pain. Let's listen to the message and do that adjustment. All right. So that is definitely something that my Grammy tell me to tell y'all this ancestors message. All right. We're moving into a phase where 2026, we're moving into a phase where, again, we can see it all around us. We are listening. We are being called to listen to our bodies, understand we're cleansing our body's needs, and then act accordingly, right? Be in accordance with Mother Earth and our bodies. Mother Earth is a part of our body. We are part of Mother Earth's body, right? So this whole message here from the ancestors: connect yourself to Mother Earth, listen to her, right? Strengthen through that connection, right? Be brave and ferocious like the bear is with her cubs. And the cub is, what are you producing? Again, risk it all. Your projects, what are you creating? What are your babies, right? Be ferocious with that. Lead with that. Yeah, my status today was be bold in goodness. And I've been experiencing some things over the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, whoa, people are really bold with their, I want to say BS, right? So I'm like, if somebody's gonna be bold with their BS, I'm gonna be bold in my righteousness. I'm gonna be bold in what I think is right. Bold for bold, right? Be bold with what you know is right, and be bold with what you know is right and what you're ready for. You know, that's the segment Grammy coming out of me to tell y'all that one. All right. So 2026, 2028, again, a process of strengthening and cleansing us, being brave for the future, right? It all happens now. We're weaving and integrating all of this into us now, because now creates the future, right? All right. So, and then let's go to the top. So really the original reading was these
these 4, and then these 2. And then as the days progress, the other 4 came in because that's how it works, right? I remember our ancestors, like I said, our ancestors come through all different forms, messages, right? Through music and sound, through the animal spirit, through the plant kingdom, through the crystal kingdom, right? So, so this is again cosmic. This is our cosmic energy, galactic cosmic energy. So I wanted to pull from that deck, right? And just 2 cards. These are at the top, right? And what came out vast? Your holy longing, your desire, right? Your instinct and your sensuality. And some refer to Bast again as that female Kundalini energy, the energy that moves us forward. Again, like that Uranus energy that just came through, right? Uranus and Jupiter coming together, right? So we have again this holy longing, this desire, this Kundalini energy that breaks up the old and really connects us from what? A base of our spine, right? Our sacral and our root. Well, more our sacral, right? But I just wanted to say the base of us, right? To our crown, to our monarchy, right? It goes from our sacral, that Kundalini energy, all the way up to our crown, right? And it transforms and changes us. This is what we use that Kundalini energy to break our wounds in astrology, right? That Chiron energy. We use this Kundalini energy to break it up, right? So Vast. What are you longing to do? What are you passionate about? Your holy longings, the fire, the desire, what's calling you, your highest calling, the victory, right? So Bass is coming out. And again, it's number 11, right? 11, 11, 1 to 1, your higher self. What is calling you? What are your senses calling you to do, right? And the alchemy of it all, right? The 8, the alchemy of you being in the center, being guided by the ethers coming down above you, and being connected to the earth, to the water, which is the cosmic water as well as the earthly water, the wind, and the sun, right? It's the alchemy, the 8 of it all. So here it is. And the 5 sacred elements, right? What are the 5 sacred elements? The earth, the wind, the water, the fire, and the ether, which is the ethers, the ancestors, the spirit guides, all that which you are made out of, the 16, right? The ancestors, right? Our astrology, the ether. And I say with the ether, gratitude, right? When you go to the ether, you do so with gratitude because it just is better. That G energy again, they say, are you a part of the 5th dimension or the 5G? So for me, the big G is the gratitude. And let's think about it, the greatness, the gratitude, the grandparents, the great grandparents. When we go to our greats and our great grands, go with gratitude. Go to the ethers in gratitude. And then there was like literally this message flew out of a book, right? As I was just clearing out and cleaning up, but it was so synchronistic with the crystals. And now I'm going to go into the crystal messages that came through that made this such a complete, and this actually made the 16. And I did not, I mean, I didn't plan this, but it just worked out so beautifully, right? So this message of the protector just would not go away. All right. And as I'm going through my week and just going through books, literally, this card just popped right out. And I said, oh my God, again, this energy of protection. And what I have around me today, guys, is the reminders of my grandparents. My grandmother loved flowers, and my other grandmother who planted plum trees. So I have their spirits around me as I'm doing this. My grandmother's through fruits and flowers. All right. So protector. What is the message here? It says the white stag. It says protector. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go and awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. So I really wanted to put that at the top because I think that is the overall message here. You have our ancestors really coming through, bringing in that message to connect and to let us know that to use our intuition and that we are powerful within us and that we can create blessings and magic. And for me, your nature is your magic. You know, when you know thyself, when you know who you are, you become magical because you're becoming your true self. And that's that magic that emerges from within you, just being you. But the you that we are is not this one you, it's the royal you, right? It's this whole clan of things. And that's why for me, the whole dragon energy comes into play. And when you actually step into, for me, that dragon work is when you're realizing that, hey, I'm a whole constellation of things. I'm not just this one little thing, but I'm actually connected to so, so much. And your being, instead of this being you, this is you. And that's for me, the dragon energy, right? When you step into the fullness and the whole constellation of who you truly are, right? It's not just a star. We're constellations. And when we connect ourselves with our ancestry, and remember, ancestry is our blood, our solar biology, our astrology, our galactic astrology. There's so, so, so much that we can learn and tap into about ourselves and realize what this of me is, as opposed to just this, right? This is a pretty big thing. But so let's go into the crystal messages. So I don't know if everybody's that's listening to this gets the crystal messages, but I do crystal messages. We're on crystal message actually number 28. And the crystal for this week, I haven't done it, I haven't written it or released it yet, but it is the black tourmaline of protection. And when I did choose the card, and it goes with the trust element, right? So this week's crystal message will be the rainbow of trust is protection. And this is really how I get put together the crystal messages and the rainbow codes. And I do it while I am meditating outside and sun gazing. So it's a process, and I've gained so much and expanded so much as I'm doing it. It's really been a beautiful process for me, watching what emerges and just what the stories that come out. So I wanted to bring the crystal message into this because it's a part of it. It's really a part of our ancestry, and really as we look at ourselves in such a big, big way. And, I bring it in too because my grandmother's name is Beryl, which is a crystal, so I'm very tied and feel very tied to the crystal realm and the crystals and all that stuff. And I just love crystals in general. I didn't know that before, but I knew I loved crystals, and I just love working with crystals. So my favorite crystal is the amethyst, and she's always close to me. So let's get into the crystal messages from our ancestors. And what I did with this is I literally, because obsidian was just on my mind. Obsidian was on my mind, and I kept on referring to the black tourmaline as obsidian, but thank you for the protection. And we were able to catch that in the last video. So I was able to switch it to the black tourmaline, but the message of the obsidian was so synchronistic and aligned that I realized, hey, that was not a mistake. So the message of the obsidian was to know thyself.
and to look at yourself in the mirror and to see who you were seeing, right? And what were we acknowledging? So you can go back to part 1 and pick that message up if you haven't gotten it. But I wanted to just pull in, because then I said, hold on, it was the black obsidian, it was the hematite, and now the black tourmaline. And I said, hey, that's some synchronicity here. And these were, well, this was last month, but these were the crystals of May, you know. And I said, oh, that's so much protection energy. And I was guided to look at what the rainbow codes were for each of these ones, right? So the black obsidian, the rainbow code that week, and then also the number, it was number 19. It was the crystal message number 19, and its message was the rainbow of rebirth emerges from the shadows as inner peace. The rainbow of rebirth emerges from the from the shadows as inner peace. And it was number 19, the 1 and the 9, which has a beautiful code to it. And here it is again, 3 and the 9, right? So I just wanted to bring that in, connect this to everything. And then we had the hematite, right? Which was for grounding. And the message of the hematite was the rainbow of protection is being grounded, right? So the hematite was number, in another deck, is number 26. Did we see that number today? Cleansing number 26, okay, which is 8. So again, this 8 energy of harmony, balance, galactic, right? Coming together is very, very strong, right? So the hematite, grounding. The rainbow of protection is grounding. The rainbow of rebirth emerges from the shadows as inner peace. And this was message number 27, 9. And then we start with tourmaline, which is the next message, which is the crystal message number 28. And guess what number it is here? 10. And I'm literally just putting this together right now with those numbers, right? So the black tourmaline of protection again, protector, right? And of course, the rainbow code for this week will be the rainbow of trust is protection. So, you know, this message again coming in from our ancestors, right? Emerge from the shadow within you, right? And the shadow, remember in the last video, I said the light and the dark, that's you, boo-boo, right? So we all have the dark and the light within us, and it serves us. It serves us. And that's more to understand that it serves us, that duality within us, that multidimensionality within us, that fullness within you is that black and that white, that equanimity, all right? So the rainbow of rebirth that allows us to continuously emerge and rebirth emerges from what we say is a shadow as inner peace, especially when you're in peace with yourself. You can go through that emergence and transmutation to the new thing with peace. And you can walk through that being grounded because you know you are being protected. And you can trust those transformations because you are protected. All right. So, guys, this is the message 330. Probably going to end at 333. This is the message coming in from our ancestors. It's the collective message from our ancestors. And we are now in the white magnetic wind wave spell. And that's really all about, it's 13 days. It started on May 31st, on May 30th, sorry, on Thursday, May 30th. I think that was the day when I got all this beautiful ancestral information coming into me too. And it's all about communicating spirit and breath, you know, so as we walk through this Gemini, Sagittarius / segment season, your ancestors are asking you to connect with them. And just not to connect with them in this season, but to connect with them so that you are a bridge of communication and you can understand them, whether that is, just creating a sacred space, going to a tree, just saying a prayer, going to the water, lighting your candles, doing offerings of food, money, whatever you want to do, whatever your heart and tradition and culture has for you to do, because this is tapping into your ancestry. Once you do it, they will have the instructions and the guidance just for you. My purpose here is to remind you that you are royal, that you have royalty in your DNA. And I really want everybody to trust that they are protected. Again, your shield is your connection to those ancestors that have passed on before you, that are now above you. And as you tap into that wisdom and that light, you are shielded and protected from above. So shield up, guys and girls, goddesses and gods, kings and queens, empresses and emperors, however high you want to go, or just to the height of your royalty, which is just the elements, but the sacred elements within you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I love you, but remember your ancestors love you more, from 222 to 333. Thank you and have a beautiful day.